Hello everyone. This video I'm making I'm basically being divinely guided to send a message to people who are making a personal choice to bully and intimidate vulnerable and innocent people. So on my other channel, I talked about. When I find the video, I'll put it in the link in the description below. But the reference that I'm making is towards the video that I was speaking about how narcissists use religion to exert power and control and dominate other people's lives. So when I find that video, I'll put it in the description below so that you know what I'm referring to, but you know what I'm talking about. But this message is a little bit more blunt than I'm used to giving because it's really a warning. I'm not trying to threaten anybody. It's just a warning. Don't shoot the messenger. Don't get mad at the person who's given the message. I'm not the one who's calling the shots. I'm not the one who's making the rules. I answer to a higher power, and I'm here to follow the instructions that have been given to me by divine. Period. Okay, so please don't get mad at me for what I'm about to say, but I have to be blunt because sometimes the situation is life-threatening and it's very dangerous, and sometimes people need to hear the truth to kind of wake up. Sometimes they may not realize the impact of their actions, or they may not understand the consequences to their actions. So let me just get to the point. So the video that I'm referring to is the one where I was saying I had a dream that, people were going down the chopping block, and it looked like it was like a construction site. And the blades that were being used, they were like, I don't know what the tool was called, but it was like a fan, and it was in the shape of a cross in a certain direction, or in the shape of an X, depending on what angle the two cross lines were going. Like, depending on the speed and the direction and whatnot, it was either shaped in a cross or an X, which I believe that's symbolic for like people who are maybe possibly religious or spiritual. So I feel like I was called to pay attention to that so I could spread that knowledge to people. That the reason why people were on the chopping block was because it could be a religious excuse me, it could be a religious or a spiritual purpose, and they may be in a position of power or influence to where they can help people. And if they are abusing that power, or if they are neglecting their responsibilities to society to help people that need help, they're going to suffer the consequences for not doing the right thing, or by refusing to stop being abusive or mean or cruel. It was a final warning. I want to make my disclaimer one more time before I continue, because this message is very blunt. I'm not trying to challenge anybody. I'm not here to threaten anyone. I'm not here to start a war. I don't want any violence. I'm just trying to relay a message that was given to me by spirit. Okay, so no disrespect. I'm not trying to be tough, and I'm not trying to threaten you. But this message is specifically for people who are participating in gang stalking. This is for people who are practicing white supremacy. This is for people who are discriminating against people for their gender, their race, their culture, their beliefs. or their religious, excuse me, their religious or spiritual beliefs. If you are participating in racial profiling, if you are a police officer, a security guard, or if you are somebody that is a high-ranking government official, if you have a high status, like you are a mogul or a spiritual or religious leader, and you are abusing your power and you are exploiting innocent people, vulnerable people, and children, if you continue, with all due respect, if you continue with this behavior, you will receive the death penalty. There is nothing that I can do. Whatever power that people perceive that I have, there's nothing that I can do to help you or save you from the consequences that you are walking into. I am not saying this to judge anybody. I'm not saying this to look down on anybody. I am simply saying this so that the message has been made clear, so that if you choose to continue with this behavior, and somebody that has the authority to ask you why you are continuing, and if you had been warned or if you had received the message, it would be beyond a reasonable doubt that you received the message and you either took that message or you ignored it. So the warning is, no matter how old you are, no matter how young you are, if you continue to participate in bullying when you know that it is wrong, and you know that the person that you're bullying and picking on is vulnerable and is an innocent person and they don't deserve it, you are being asked by the universe to stop engaging in negative behaviors that is attracting bad karma. Okay, I'm not here to judge. I've made mistakes. I've done some of those things myself. So I'm not here to look down on anybody. I'm not here to threaten anyone or peer pressure them to do something they don't want to do. I'm just here to give the warning that if you continue to bully and harass innocent people, your health will decline. If you continue so, even though your health is declining, you will lose body parts. You can lose a finger. You may lose a foot. You may lose an arm, a leg. You may lose brain cells. You may lose hair follicles. You also may be fired from a job. You will lose community and spiritual support. You will lose your position of power. You will be forced to step down. You will receive jail time or prison, depending on the circumstances and the severity of the crimes and the impact that your actions are causing people. So basically, I'm being called by a divine being to send the message to those who know, who are very well aware and who are not aware that they are bullying, harassing, and intimidating vulnerable and innocent people. You are being called by the universe to stop behaving in that way, or else you will receive fatal consequences. This is not my doing. This is not my decision. This is a higher power making that call. And it is my responsibility to relay that message to the public. If I do not say what I'm saying right now, I'm going to get bad consequences. I'm going to get bad karma. It was called upon me by Spirit to relay the message. It is called upon me by Spirit to relay the message. If I choose to save face and not say the hard things that need to be said, I'm going to be punished. I'm going to take on the bad karma of the bullies who are going around and picking on innocent people. If I don't tell you bluntly and honestly the consequences that you are facing by your behavior, I'm going to get the death penalty. My health is going to decline. I'm going to start to lose limbs. I'm going to become terminally ill. So do you understand the consequences that I am facing? I'm not doing this to start any problems with anyone. I'm doing this as a final warning. This is a final warning from the boss upstairs. If you continue to threaten innocent people, if you continue to use violence to intimidate people, if you continue to violate people's boundaries when they've set boundaries, if you continue to take advantage of vulnerable people, you are going to receive the death penalty. We are at an age right now to where the planet's vibrations are raising, and we are experiencing a worldwide awakening. So this is for children, adults, spiritual beings, whatever you call yourself. This is a message for all who inhabit this planet. If you are bullying and harassing people, if you are neglecting your position of power by not taking responsibility, like say if you're a social worker or if you're a teacher, if you are miseducating students and you're intentionally making them ignorant or foolish, you're going to get repercussions. If you are a social worker and you see that someone is clearly being bullied and harassed and you're not using your position of power to help that person, you are going to be terminated from your job. And like I said, I'm not trying to judge anybody. I'm not in a position to judge anyone. I'm just here to deliver the message. That's what I've been called to do. That's my job title. If I don't do what I'm supposed to do, what the divine has told me to do, I'm going to get in trouble. If I don't be honest with you guys and be blunt to try to help where I can't force anyone to do anything. If they don't do it, I don't want to be the one that's being accused of doing it. I'm not hurting anybody. I'm not laying a hand on anyone. This is the big boss upstairs. So if whatever I'm saying is falling on deaf ears, you may lose your ears. You may lose your hearing if you continue to take for granted your 5 or 6 senses, depending on what you believe in. If you don't appreciate the 6 senses that were given to you, you are at stake of losing it. So if you turn a blind eye to someone being bullied, you may lose your eyesight. If someone is trying to compromise with you and work with you and use verbal communication to reach some type of compromise to help people, and you're just pretending like you can't hear someone, you may go deaf. If you are poisoning someone's food or preventing them from eating healthy, or spreading misinformation to get people to eat food that you know is not healthy for them, you may lose your appetite, and you may develop an eating disorder, whether it's obesity, bulimia, anorexia. You may attract tapeworms, ringworms. And like I said, I'm not saying I'm trying to I'm just saying I'm saying the message. I'm not trying to challenge anybody. I don't want nobody to think that I'm trying to plot or anything like that. It's just the message. I'm the messenger. Please don't come at me. Please don't try to, gang up on me and beat me up and give me a hard time because you feel like I'm threatening you, because that's not the case at all. A higher power has warned me that if I continue to beat around the bush and not tell you the truth, I'm going to get in severe trouble, because I was entrusted by the divine with this task. If I don't fulfill my duties, I'm going to lose my privileges, and I don't want to lose my privileges because I was saving face and sugarcoating and I don't want to say these things. I don't want to. I don't want to deliver people tough news. I don't want to be in that position. I don't want that. But that's not. It's not up to me.